Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, modern-day alchemist, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk about the second week in April, which is a really intensely jam-packed week. There's a lot going on, and I'm wearing red because there's a lot going on to commemorate the dynamic activity of this week. It's really about stoking our life forces and really getting us to look at who we are and how we value ourselves. So there's several things going on I want to point out to you. One, we just finished with a new moon in Aries. And there was the new moon in Aries. There were 4 planets altogether in Aries, plus an important point, Chiron. The Chiron represents your soul wound. And so it's really been about the last few weeks have really been about finding out who you are, taking care to remove what you are not, your wound, and to heal the damage caused by living an inauthentic life. And that is really being helped by the energy of this last few weeks and this next few weeks. So we begin with Venus square Pluto. That went into effect yesterday and is going to go on for quite a while. The main theme for this month is Venus, self-value, relationships, healing. The Pluto, deep healing, deep honesty, power. Mercury, communication, how we communicate with ourselves and with each other. The sun, our life force, our heart center. So there's a lot going on here. And we can throw in Mars, the planet of getting things done, the planet of how we get things done. And we've pretty much got, if nothing else, a very dynamic mix that demands our attention. And we get to choose how we're going to pay attention. Now, when you have Venus, the great planet of healing and self-value, and in a relationship, square frictional relationship with Pluto, which is also about healing. And it's a very important aspect to remember about Pluto. It's not only transformation, it's about healing through transformation and transformation through healing. Pluto gets a bad rap. People say, oh my God, it's really terrible. It's very painful, the things that you have to face within yourself or go through. But it doesn't have to be awful. You can choose to go with it. And with Venus square Pluto right now, it's a very dynamic time to go with it. Go with what needs to be done. What needs to be done? Looking at yourself honestly. What needs to be done? Looking at your relationships honestly. What needs to be done? Admitting that you are where you are. And then deciding, because we have free will, deciding if you think you're worth it. Remember, Venus and self-value is involved. If you think you're worth it to live a fully authentic life, to live a life where you love yourself so much that you allow the universe to show you that same kind of love. So with Venus square Pluto, that's really big. You're going to have to look at things. They say with Pluto, you have to dig deeply. Actually, you don't have to dig that deeply with Pluto. Pluto is doing the digging for you. Pluto is bringing things up. Look at them. Pluto is allowing you to go, wow, that is an aspect. Now, will you be honest with yourself? Pluto wants you to do that. So Pluto is actually doing the heavy digging and the heavy lifting. Venus is saying that heavy digging and the heavy lifting, that's all about you getting a good look at yourself and deciding that you are worth it. The next thing we're going to deal with, again, Venus related, is the planet Venus is going to move into one of the signs it rules, Taurus. This is going to happen any hour now because it happens late tonight or early tomorrow. It's going to happen any time now. So when Venus moves into its own sign, I like Venus and I like Taurus because I think self-value, Taurus, I think adornment. So this is a great time to value yourself. As a matter of fact, this is your own personal self-valuing holiday. So value yourself and value how far you've come. I know that you might look and say, oh, I've got so much farther to go. But stop. Right now, stop and look and admire you. Admire the doer who got you here, you. Admire how far you've come and how much you've grown and how much you've healed. And celebrate that. What's a great way to celebrate anything? Why, shopping, of course. Now, Venus, which rules pretty things, as well as self-value and healing, and Taurus, which rules adornment. So your orders, your spiritual orders are adorn yourself with pretty things, especially now. Celebrate who you've come to be. We know who you want to be or how you want to be in that future. But let's celebrate the fact that you got here. This is a great thing. Wear red. Be passionate. Be passionate about you. You can be obsessive because remember, Pluto is involved. But Pluto is also passion. I choose passion. It's all fire, whether it's obsession or whether it's passion. I choose positive fire, passion, and love yourself. Do what the heavens are allowing you to do, which is be fully yourself. Live it, own it. The next thing that's going to happen, it just seems like as we move toward the end of the week, a lot happens all at once. So we have Mercury, the planet of communication, how we gather and process information, square Pluto. There's Pluto again. Now, there are people who go, oh my God, Mercury square Pluto, that means we're going to have to dig deeply. No, as I said before, Pluto will bring it up. All you have to do is look at it and sort. Mercury is good for sorting. I'm keeping that memory. I no longer need that memory or that pain or that fear. I'm keeping this relationship. I choose to stand in relationship with myself. Pluto says, I'm bringing it up and putting it on the table. Mercury says, we get to sort. What are we keeping? What are we letting go of? Use this time to sort. Remember, it's about adorning yourself. Of course, physically adorn yourself. And it's about adorning your soul. Of course, choose to keep the things that will remind you on a constant basis of how special you are, how wonderful you are. When I say special, I mean special in the eyes of the divine. There's only one you. And this is a great time to acknowledge this one you and celebrate the gift and the magnificent being you are. Then we have Mars, how we get things done, in an harmonious trine aspect with the planet Jupiter. That means your actions can bring you luck. That means your actions are blessed. Now, not all of your actions will bring you luck, and not all of your actions are blessed. That all depends on how you're dealing with things. What actions are you taking? If you decide to act out, you will wind up having to pay the price for it. There are consequences. If you decide to respond rather than act out or react, then there are results. You have to decide with Mars trine Jupiter whether you want results or whether you want consequences. Whichever you want, with Jupiter being involved, it's going to come in a big package. So I, of course, voted for results. I hope you do too. The next thing we're going to look at is the Sun, Mercury together with the Sun, and the Sun square Pluto, as well as Mercury square Pluto. So the Sun is your life force, it's your heart center, it's your creative aspect of you, how you live your life creatively. So we've got it, the Sun together with the way you think, how you live your life creatively with the way you think, the way you process and gather information. So think in terms of what works for you. I could say be positive, but that's such a generic term, especially these days. Of course, be positive. Be proactive in your thinking. How do you want to be? How do you want to perceive yourself? How do you want others to perceive your journey? And a caution here. the way others perceive your journey is not the main point here. It's an important point, but it's not the main point. It's how you perceive your journey and how you set off and how you make your way on your journey that are important. So everything is possible, but do think it through. If you remember nothing else from this talk today, adorn yourself, value yourself, and think through whatever plans come up. Think them through. As you think them through, you're more likely to have great results. This is a great week for producing the beginnings of what you want to bring into the world and how you want the world to respond to and reward you for being. Oscar Wilde said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is taken." And I love that. And I will say, be yourself. It's a good thing. So bye until next week.